All right, good day, people. So I'm going over this sheep trade. I just exited at our 78% fib level. So I'm about to go through this trade setup to show you exactly how I played it. All right, so we're going to measure from here to here. So this is an impulse, and this is a pullback. This is what the retracement is. And we trade the fibs differently. Most people use the retracement levels to find entry. They take this into the prevailing direction. So since this was a bullish move up, any pullback, bulls will look to go long. However, I don't like to play it like that. Instead, I like to short. I like to fade the prevailing move, meaning go against, be contrarian. And if you look at that, you have multiple opportunities on the chart for that. In this case, we had a little bear flag right here forming. We broke out of it. Next level was to 78%. Now, what tipped at me to want to really go to the 78% was that we pierced the 70%, which is hiding over here. It pierced it, we came back, found entry to go short from up here, and we got down here. Okay. And so this played out pretty well. What else? Let's look at this right here. So when you're looking at, let me go back to it. Over here to your right, you have news, you got articles on whatever asset that you're trading. And yesterday I noticed that this article had popped up 570 trillion sheep emu level, and it talked about it. So we're talking about between the 1400 and the basically point zero, the triple, I mean the quadruple 19, and I'm saying quadruple because of the zeros. All right, between that price point, it was 573 trillion tokens held by 174,000 wallets. So it talked about that's a psychological battlefield support cluster. Anyway, I read through that and it felt like this is going to be a breakdown. That 78 was down there. It was confluence. It made a lot of sense. Then when you look at over here, the liquidations at the time, and it's still stuck in time because I haven't refreshed it. So at the time, 97% were long, all right, and I think if I change it now, it's going to refresh. So, but, all right, so still 100% 4 hour, the 1 hour, 99% are long on the 12 hour, 94% long, and once again, 94% are long on the 24 hour, and this is on the sheet. So once again, that's a contrary move. I'm looking to go what short. So all that confluence, it played out. I took the trade. We're now down here. We met our level here at the 78%. And that's it. Now, if this level is violated, the next one would be the 88%, which is still a likelihood the price can come back down, especially if Bitcoin continues to bleed. Now, of course, the markets had a cascade. Well, so look, with this massive breakdown, we got a lot of room left to go. We just broke this key level right here. We were holding on here. All right. Since that violated, yeah. So it looked like we're gonna have, and then look, this looked like a head and shoulder, classic head and shoulders pattern. If you want to be honest, let's see if I have a pattern that I can do. Let's try this. Let me use this tool. Left shoulder, boom. You got the head, boom. You got the right shoulder, and then we got I guess we call this the neckline. All right. We got a head and shoulders pattern. Go to the downside. Now, I like to use my fib extension tool to get the downside targets. I'm taking this and I'm going to take it to here, all right, because this is what price came back, all right, and we're going to do it here. And we've already hit essentially target number one was at the 100. So 97,962 looks to be the second target we'll get to. Now, if the cascade of events can continue to get to the downside, 89, 194 is a legit level that we can get to. I already expected that we should have a massive pullback. Anyway, not a massive, but a decent pullback going in because we had too many people on Twitter talking about, oh, alt season, Bitcoin going to this and that. It's a lot of stuff going on. Then we got the Fed's meeting on the interest rate. I think it's oh well. So let me see. It should be let's see, Fed's. I gotta look it up to see the next date in June for the interest rate meeting. But anyway, these levels, 61%, is really a magnet area. It's a lot of it's an imbalance over here, a fair value gap that's just sitting right there. This is a magnetized area where price can come to. So anything between this area definitely can happen. All right. So keep that in mind as well too when you're looking at Bitcoin for the most part. And of course, the market follows. Now on Blowfin, we still got opportunities where if you see a massive rally, so we'll look at the gainers. Um, all right, let's look at Ravencoin. I mean, it's up 58%. It was up higher than that, but of course, it's pulling back. I will be careful of these, right? Because this is what happens. So first, let's go look at Ravencoin on here. Let's see if it's even. All right, here we go. We got Raven. All right. All right. So 24 hours, 60% short on the hour. All right. It's still too high for 70, even though we got this one exchange on Gate, 79% of short. Let's look at the 4 hour. All right. So we're okay. So we got 78, and I will focus on maybe the 4 hours. So let's go look at Ravencoin and let's see if we can find opportunity to fade the shorts. All right. Now, when you look at something like this, you automatically think that, oh, this thing is going lower. You got to be careful. All right, Bulls, of course, blasted through here. All right, you got this pullback. Now you're probably going to have a lot of shorters to come in and want to short this thing, but you got to be careful. All right, even though it doesn't look great, it's still flag pattern for the most part. All right, and that's where you got to be careful. All right, it's really something similar like this. It's not the sexiest, but it's still that. Still can push up. Okay. We still can do what? We can take this, measure, bring it back down. These look like the next two targets and where this price can go to. This is not financial advice, but this is what if I'm not shorting this, I'm sorry, I'm not coming in short. I know how this works. I'm not doing that. Okay. So this is a possibility that this can go up here based off the 4 hour chart. Okay. And you see already, you got a lot of people that are still short. I've noticed that on Blowfin, a lot of these that run, they continue to run and they don't have the massive pullback because everybody's thinking the same thing. Oh, it's overextended. It gotta pull back. It gotta pull back. Yeah, well, that's the same thing that happened with ZBAC. All right. Now it's in this pullback, but in this earlier stages, no. All right. We had the same type of basically massive run up. This one right here, this run up, and then what price comes back down to this area, and then it boom. All right, we had basically one pullback. So we had 1, 2, 3, and pullback. All right. So be careful that. And then Kaieto did something similar in its earlier stages. It was one of the ones as well too that continued to have pushed up um, over here. All right. We had this nice little push, and then we had this little pullback, and then what happened? You had a lot of people who began to short based off this little spike coming up in here, right? And then it pushed higher, And of course, it still tried to keep pushing up, but eventually it did fade after that. But you gotta be careful with those spikes up because you automatically think, oh well, yeah, it's gonna go short. I mean, look at this right here. Even though it's a second wave up, we push, we pull. All right, it's a lot of people who are thinking that, oh, let's go short, let's go short. All I'm telling you, be careful. Potentially got another leg up. All right. Um, a lot of these are dropping right now. So, of course, by the time this video posted, I don't know what the market will look like. You drop down lower time frame, you can play it. Take a look over here at your losers. All right, and you can see, of course, some of these bigger losers are going to be the ones that probably had a bigger top. All right, so let's look at AWE, USDT. Um, so yeah, this one right here just fell from here. So here's the thing: we do not short at levels of support. You gotta be careful. All right, you can have any bounce in here. I wouldn't touch it. So always remember, you want to sell as high as possible, and you want to buy as low as possible. Anything you're maybe thinking of buying, but you also know that there could be some liquidity sweeps down here. But right now, this is something I wouldn't even really truly touch for the most part. But yeah, you can go through it and you can just look through and you can see what the greatest, who had the biggest losers. And then you can go and you can look at the whole entire market. And what do? You go over here to the change, and then the change, it'll do it from the gainers down to the losers, so you can see more. Okay. And what I like to do is I just like to go through and look and see where some may be in its infancy stage. All right. I like this one, HMSTR. Never heard of them, but let's look at it. What was it? STR. HMSTR. USD2. I don't know if it's called hamster. It's 4 hour. Um, Nothing's really broken out of this consolidated zone. So whatever it breaks from here, you can look for the movement to happen. Let's see what it was saying. It was just up plus 66.66 cent. Yeah, so it probably was up more before we had this pullback, which it was. So far from that pullback down, it dropped 3.73%. So that probably ate into its gain a little bit. But looking at this, all right, we can see strong movement coming up into this range. But if we met with a lot of pressure, we still could break back down to the downside. But because we're in a consolidated zone, there's nothing to do right now. Just stay clear of that. Let's look at AGLD. AL. Was it GLD? My memory bad. Let me see. AGLD. I'm sorry. AGLD. AGLD. USDT. All right, let's see what's going on with this one. What was it? 3.61% up. All right, so it's playing into the liquidity sweep. This is the previous day high. This is day Wednesday. It's Thursday. All right. Let's see. That previous day high needs to change. No, that doesn't look correct. Let me see something else. Where is it? All right. Anyway, Pierce liquidity sweep coming back in the range. We could play this. I just look for the point of origin where right price really starts to push up right here. So we play these levels. All right, across 11.8. Of course, it like it's coming to the 61%. Right now, it's too late to get in this trade, but it would have been nice if I would have saw this trade forming at least coming to the 23 or the 11.8, and then we'll short it down to the golden ratio. All right, but go through a lot of these, and you can see you may have some liquidity sweeps that are shaping up. So don't be afraid when the markets are dropping like this. Go ahead, like I said, go over the blow fit and see what's happening. All right, and you could fade the market. We look at this last one. We'll be done BMT, USD, BMT, USD, BMT, USDT, and see what's happening over here. All right, you see we got this nice little push out. Then we got market pull back. Looked like it was tempted to do a liquidity sweep, but you also got to look. Let's see. Yeah, that's interesting. And let me see. BMT is up 12%. Let's go look at over here, see what's happening. All right, 4 hour 50. All right, 88% long. 12 hour 70% short. 24 hours 68. So overall, more people are short. So we need to monitor this. Okay, measure this impulse. Your extension tool. All right, we start right here. Go up to this level. Bring it back down. All right, look like we can get a 13.26% and then 14.68. Okay, look, if we can't close above here, this is not happening. We're gonna roll over and go to the downside. And yeah. All right, so we also get the downside move where we can use our fib retracement. We can play this game too, and we can see how these levels played out. We crossed 11.8 already, which is good. All right. Of course, stop loss will be above here, but your reward will be down here between 61 and 78%, which price could drop back. So this is more so a wait and see game. If we could break this level, get upside, but overall, you want to be mindful. This trade look like if it does push up higher, it's only pushing up to do distribution to get some sales going. All right. So remember, it does no good to push price up just for the sake of it. It's pushing price up to do distribution to sell at a higher level. Nobody wants to sell down here. Smart money doesn't sell down here. They buy down here. They sell up here, just like here. You see how we pushed up? We got this nice little push even higher up here. All right, and then we what? Boom. Okay, and make this massive drop. And if you look, potentially some of the field levels could have been reached. Some were. We was trying to get to the 50%, but we failed to get up there. All right, look at this drop, and you possibly can see the same thing. And we did get to the 50%, but we ran out of real estate a little bit for the field levels. But all this fair value gap, the price could try to push up here, but at the same time, so a lot of people probably thinking the same. So who knows? But yeah, just patiently wait. If this level, all right, to be safe, someone will look for this level to be violated. If that level is violated, they're looking to go short. after that. All right. Um, Someone looking to go long, they're looking for this counter to be engulfed. If this counter is getting engulfed, stop loss goes below the counter that got engulfed. If it's another counter that forms and then it gets engulfed, then you do the same thing. But that's mainly what they're looking for. If something engulfs this bar, or it's 2 hours 39 minutes left in this candle, so you got to be patient to wait. All right, you'll be looking to go long up to the upside. But you also can have a bearish candle that can engulf this, and if it do break, put your stop loss above, and then you can trade it back here to structure. So there's multiple ways. All right. But other than that, I'm done. Hit the like button, subscribe. It's your boy E White. Y'all have a great one.